One of the biggest challenges facing the autistic community is for autistic people to find their own voice and make it heard in the world. And today's individual helped in creating a platform for the community while he was only 18. Ari Ne'eman was born in East Brunswick, New Jersey on December 10, 1987. Ari found out about his autism at the young age of 12 when he and his mom sat down on a park bench to discuss the diagnosis. Initially, it didn't really mean much to him, until he started to hear what other people were saying about autism. For many people from the neurotypical world, they imagined autism as something to fear or pity. It's important to note Ari's observations of people began around the 1990s, and there was a lot going on around that time. From numerous organizations scratching their heads about what autism really meant, to a harmful article from The Lancet by Andrew Wakefield, not to mention two particular movies that do not shine autism in a good light, whose names shall not be mentioned. The last part is my personal opinion. In addition to this, or more accurately because of this, there was a growing need for autism self-advocacy, the ability and power for autistic people to speak for themselves instead of ignorant associations trying to speak for them. Specifically, the autistic community wanted autism self-advocacy organizations that were run by autistic people, alongside a shift in everyone's way of thinking about autism itself. Instead of being distracted by the narrow questions of causation and a so-called cure, there needed to be more focus on the quality of life for autistic people, consisting of their civil rights, support systems to help them grow, and chances to have their voices heard in the world. Ari Ne'eman recognized this need from the autistic community, and after he graduated from Brunswick High School, Ari began to work on what would soon be one of the greatest autism organizations across the globe. In November 2006, he co-founded the Autism Self Advocacy Network with the motto, "Nothing about us, without us." Unlike other autism associations at that time, this one was actually run by autistic people for autistic people. Under Ari Ne'eman's leadership, ASAN would focus on public policy priorities together with both social and cultural change. They worked hard to improve the lives of autistic people, which included expansions on access to employment supports for autistic adults, greater educational inclusion for autistic children, strengthened rights protection laws throughout the lifespan, and more. Ari would serve as ASAN's president for 10 years to help it grow as a nonprofit organization, gain tax-exempt status, hire staff members, and become a well-known entity for informing decision-makers and the public about autism, and the views from those who live with it. Nevertheless, this wasn't the only thing Ari was working on. From 2006 to 2010, he attended the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and worked towards a bachelor's degree in political science. This prepared him for what came next. In 2009, the President of the United States at that time, Barack Obama, nominated Ari Ne'eman to the National Council on Disability, making him the first autistic presidential appointee. Ari would then be confirmed by the Senate in July of 2010. As you can imagine, this council has more than just a fancy title. The National Council on Disability is a federal agency in charge of advising Congress and the President himself on issues and concerns affecting Americans with disabilities. Ari served on the council from 2010 to 2015 and was able to make the best of his time. He and other members of the council oversaw the progress on projects relating to parenting rights of people with disabilities, Medicaid self-direction, deinstitutionalization, bullying prevention, and other critical topics in disability policy. Nowadays, Ari Ne'eman is a senior associate at the Harvard Law School Project on Disability, and is even working on his own book titled The Right to Live in This World, The Untold Story of Disability in America. Whatever plans he has for the future, Ari Ne'eman has already made a phenomenal contribution to the autistic community by giving us a platform to speak out in the form of the Autism Self Advocacy Network in a time when we needed it most. He understands that the situations we deal with in our lives are not going to get better just by having other people try to speak for us, especially those who have never lived with the circumstances we go through. If you don't like what you see, stand up and say something. Thanks to the resources available today, we now have the means and the platform to make our voices heard. The only thing missing is the message you want to get out there. I wonder if ASAN is looking for any autistic content creators. Just putting it out there.